I loved this goddamn movie. Okay? This is how you do an action movie in 2019. Michael, make more of these. Don't do that stupid ass Transformers crap. Do these. Okay? I mean, this movie was written by the same people that did Deadpool. And I didn't even realize that until after, because I'm watching this and I'm going, this has a real Deadpool feel to it, with the action and the things. And it was like, yeah. If you liked Deadpool and you want it to the next level, the fact that there's a next level, a level above Deadpool, I never thought I'd say that. This movie is it. Okay? This was just great, breakneck speed, keep up or you're screwed action movie. Okay? I've heard a lot, I've seen some reviewers talking about how, it was disjointed and I couldn't keep up, and it's like, dude, see, you know, this is a testament of how mediocre and irrelevant action movies are. Okay? They're used to John Wick 3. Not John Wick 1. They're used to John Wick 3. They're used to Rambo Last Blood, where, you know, let me take time to, like, explain things to you because you guys just don't have the mental capacity to, like, keep up. It's like, keep up or go home. Okay? Because I was able to follow the story. I was able to follow the flashbacks. I was able to follow the jumping around timeline. It wasn't that hard. Okay? So, if the fact that it's going to be a little disjointed is going to bother you, then, you know what? Go watch, a Care Bears movie. Okay? Don't watch this action movie because apparently it's going to be too much for you. This movie is now, for me, the benchmark of what action movies need to be. For one main reason, is that the action sequences, the car chase scene in this movie actually showed the repercussions of what happens in a car chase scene. I mean, it's going to sound stupid, but it's the most realistic portrayal of the consequences of having a car chase scene in the middle of a busy street and driving down the road. Everybody else, it's like, everybody gets out of the way in time, and they just constantly, miss everybody, and they don't hit anything unless it's necessary. Or a car will veer off and it'll just smash and fall down and skid away and not hit anybody. No. In this movie, if you're in the goddamn way, you end up as a speed bump. Okay? And it was like, that was just amazing. Because, like, there's these, I think it's a Vespa, right? There's this Vespa in the middle of the road, the two cars are coming, and in any other type of action movie, other than a Deadpool movie, okay, they would have somehow avoided any damage or injury to that person on the Vespa. In this movie, dude, you're a roadblock. And the guy's gone and flipping over and done. A car will like veer off, split in two, smash, and hit a building and hit people. And it was like, I'm sorry, that's good. That's what I want. The fact that it actually showed the civilians on the street actually being affected by the car chase actually made, and again, as over the top and adrenaline fueled, psychotic this car chase scene was, it actually, in a way, grounded it and made it believable because you got to see the repercussions. Now, obviously, you didn't get to see, a person, smashing into the car and his head exploding like in a real accident, but you actually saw people on the street, you actually saw buildings getting damaged, not because it was necessary, or it was because it was like, we have to, because most car chase scenes in movies are just the cars driving around, you have that one or two or three really cool car crashes and stuff like that. In this one, it was all car crashes. Every time a car screwed up, it was a car crash. It's a Michael Bay movie. And they were all well done. And the characters. Everybody's complaining about the characters. Okay, here's a real simple way of explaining these characters and why I loved every single one of them. Okay? Picture the character of Iron Man. Okay? Picture Tony Stark. Picture Captain America. Picture Hawkeye. Picture Black Widow. Now get rid of all of their superpowers, but you keep their character. That's what the characters in this movie were. Okay? They were simply the characters of they were simply superhero characters, but without the superhero powers. Okay? They were over the top, they were extreme, just like a Captain America character. He's a little over the top. Tony Stark, he's a little over the top. But because he has the superpowers, you're going, oh, it's a comic book movie, therefore it makes sense. In this movie, in Six Underground, just take that aspect, but remove the superhero powers. That's the characters. And I loved every single one of them. Every one of them was interesting and different and had their own personality. There was this one guy, I can't remember his name because they basically go by names, but I think he was the hitman. He worked for a Mexican cartel, and one of the little flashbacks of, like, the origin stories are like literally 10-15 seconds long. Just enough for you to get, well, maybe 30 seconds, to be able to go, this is the person, this is how they got involved, and that's it. Back to the story. Well, the word story is being generous, but it's literally, okay, story-wise, it's not Terminator. It's not, it's more along the lines of John Wick. Yeah, it's kind of like along the lines of John Wick, because take a look at the story for the first John Wick movie. Okay, it's a pretty damn flimsy storyline. Nobody bitched about that. This movie has pretty much that bare bones, flimsy necessity of a story that keeps the movie going, and the movie this movie constantly kept going, and you rarely get you do get some chances to like calm down, but if you are into action movies, it's like it's still high energy, it's still energetic and stuff like that, and it was great. It was like this had to have been the only one of the very few movies where I was disappointed that the movie was over. Okay? Like when the movie ended, it was like, no, I can do this for another half hour, easy. I could easily do this for another, like, to show repercussions and of the situation. It's barely explained, and it's kind of stupid on how he makes this yacht this giant magnet. But what it ends up doing is just, it's cool. I love. There's this thing there's this comparison I do with some people with people is that, does it make sense? It's a scale. Does it make sense? Is it cool? If it's cool enough, then I don't have to worry about it making sense. But if it's not cool enough, then I have to worry about how it makes sense. When he magnetized the yacht, it didn't really make a lot of sense, but it was really cool. And one of the things that was cool about it is, like, in the kitchen, you see the people in the kitchen just flying up against the wall and stuff. And then they come down. And then he turns it on again. And then they fly off to the next wall. But this time, all the knives and utensils follow them. And you literally just see the knives and forks and stuff basically killing. And it was like, yeah, again, over the top, but it's what would happen in that situation. And this movie, because I guess it was rated R, or I don't know what kind of ratings you get on the Netflix, but because it didn't have to worry about being PG, okay, it could actually show the repercussions of, yeah, because it's magnetized, the knives are gonna move and the forks are gonna move and the pots are gonna move. Like they don't get hit by pots and pans and spoons and go, ooh, ow, ow. You know what I mean? Like it would in, if this was at the theater and it was a PG-13 movie. But because I guess it's the closest thing, it would be a rated R. This would be a hard R at the movie theater. And I'm sorry, this is the new benchmark for action movies. Again, I still want action movies like John Wick that aren't anywhere near what, Six Underground was. I still want my John Wick type action movies, right? So it's not like I'm going, oh, they all have to be like this, but I'm saying I want this type of high energy. It was an action. Before this, my other favorite movie, other than Deadpool, because again it's a comic book movie, not so much an action movie, I separate them differently, was again another Ryan Reynolds movie, which was The Assassin's Bodyguard. The Assassin's Bodyguard was a good action movie, and it also focused on story and characters, but it also had Samuel L. Jackson too, and he's cool. So, and I love that type of movie too. But the fact that it's now been established, this type of high energy, high octane, actual repercussions to the actions that's happening on the screen exists, that I'm for it all the way. Now, obviously, this is not going to be for everyone. Not only that, it's technically not going to be for just Michael Bay fans, and it's not going to be just for Ryan Reynolds fans. It'll definitely be like if you were a fan of Deadpool, then there's no way you're gonna go, oh yeah, no, this wasn't for me, because unless you're gonna go, oh, it was too just disjointed, I couldn't figure out what was going on. Hit the pause button and rewind. Okay, it's on Netflix. It's not at the movie theater. You actually have control over, pacing on. Well, not pacing, but if you're a little bit confused, rewind a little bit. Okay, again, either keep up or go watch a Care Bear action or go watch Rambo Last Blood, where virtually nothing happened between, every 20 minutes for a 10-second action scene. Oh, and to get back to that Hitman example that I kind of brought up 10 minutes ago before I segued into wherever the hell I ended up. But there's this one scene where they all have these stylized gas masks on. I think it's in the trailer. And because there's laughing gas everywhere. I don't know why it's laughing gas. It's not really whatever. And he's in the elevator with this other girl, and he goes, hold on a second. And you see him put his head down, and he puts on a sticker of this really huge, evil, grinning, smiling face with the teeth showing, right? And he goes, I just been to the dentist. And it's stupid, and it's him being a smartass, but it was the coolest looking, it made the mask actually look goddamn cool, right? It was coolness over logic type thing, because by putting the sticker on his mask, he ends up blocking the filtration system, I guess, or whatever, and ends up being affected by the laughing gas. And I would have gone, yeah, that's what I would have done too, because I wish I could put up a picture or a screenshot of what it looked like, but I don't have that type of equipment or skills. But I love that scene because it was just the coolest look. It made the mask look so goddamn amazing. Like it should have been like that in the first place. Anyway, I loved Six Underground. It was an absolutely amazing popcorn action movie. It's the type of action movie that should exist in 2019, 2020. Okay, it's like the action movies of Arnold Schwarzenegger and Sylvester Stallone and Chuck Norris and Dolph Lundgren from the 80s, only it's what you would, it would be the 2020 version of those type of action movies. Okay? And I loved those 1980 action movies with Arnold Schwarzenegger and Sylvester Stallone and Chuck Norris and Dolph Lundgren. Okay? I love those type of action movies. This movie is simply that style of action movie, but the 2020 version. I don't even know if I should even bother, recommending it, because I don't know how much weight, or if any, my opinion holds to anybody, and God knows how, few people are even going to watch this video anyway, but it's an endorsement from me as opposed to every other reviewer I saw covering this movie being just so pansy-ass and safe, and it's like, oh, it's kind of like this, and you might like it if you like this, and it's like, no. If you like the idea of a popcorn action movie with high energy and just constant action, that's what this movie is, okay? And you're either going to like it or you're not. And I really don't care if you don't like it. I did. Anyway, I'm once again getting into rambling territory because I have no idea how to end this. But anyway, I'm out of here. See ya.